Town of North Hempstead Supervisor Judy Bosworth. In the interest of keeping our senior population safe, we have partnered with our Project Independence fitness instructors to provide virtual classes. This way, you can still get the exercise you're used to from the safety of your home. Please enjoy.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Miller and I am a certified yoga instructor. My home studio is Medwell Spa right here on Long Island. Today I will be guiding this practice on North Hempstead TV for Project Independence. So let's try to find a nice comfortable seat on our mat. When I practice yoga, I always have plenty of props. So if you have a rolled up towel, if you have a block or a bolster. If you don't have blocks or bolsters, those kinds of props, you can always substitute props with so many things you can find in the house. A nice firm pillow you can use for blocks. Sometimes you can even use a large hard-covered book. So I always have my props handy because I never know when I'm going to use them. So I just keep a nice array of props nearby. Right now I'm sitting on a throw pillow just to bring my hips up. I always like to start my practice out that way. It's the way that I like to start. Not everybody starts that way. So yoga is all about personal practice. So this is a practice, it's very individual. So you have to find what gives you comfort. So just make sure you've got some props ready and we'll have a nice open level yoga practice today. So let's go ahead and start to find a nice comfortable seat on your mat. Breathing in and out through the nose, gentle breaths in and gentle breaths out. You can gently close your eyes if you like. Breathing in and out through the nose. Breathing in, we bring in the energy that you brought to your practice today. And exhales to release and let go and soften. Breathing in, the chest rises up, the belly expands. On the exhale, we release the breath, release tension that likes to find its way into the body. And just continue to breathe to the rhythm of your natural breath. Breathing in through the nose. Gentle breaths in and gentle breaths out. Throughout the practice today, I do cue breath a lot, but if I don't cue breath, it doesn't mean that you should hold your breath. So just continue to breathe in and out. In and out through the nose, gentle breaths. And then on the next inhale, your crown is rising up toward the sky, shoulders are stacked over the hips, spine is aligned. And as you exhale, releasing and softening and letting go. Inhale, chest rises up, spine's aligned. And on that exhale, I want you to imagine that you're just kind of melting in your seat. You're releasing tension from the lower back. And then we take that breath in again. And that slow exhale allows us to release tension as we find that balance in the seat. And remember to continue your rhythm patterns of breath. In and out through the nose. Just finding your balance. Just becoming familiar with the mat as we begin our practice today. And we will be on the mat for a little while warming up, and then we do start part of our practice on the mat as well. So it's not just warming up on the mat, it's starting to do our poses and and twisting and always connecting to breath. On that nice full breath in, next full breath in, bring those arms to a T, fingertips reaching in opposite directions, and then palms facing up toward the sky. We're going to inhale our hands up, fingertips reaching up, and then turning the hands, palms down toward the earth on the exhale, lowering the hands down. We're going to inhale those hands up again, connecting to your inhale. So the whole time you're inhaling, the arms are lifting up. And then I want you to turn your hands and just tap the back of the hands together. And then exhale and lower down. So go ahead and inhale those arms up, keeping those arms nice and engaged. Hands come up, turn those hands, tap gently the back of the hands and lower down. And then go ahead and inhale those hands up. This time bringing the palms and fingers together, lowering to heart center. And this is the part of the practice in yoga where we like to set an intention. And an intention is something that is goal-oriented for yourself. So we say it's something you intend to accomplish. So that could either be maybe just coming to class today, or maybe you want to find alignment, or there's a certain pose that you're looking forward to trying, or it's just something you intend to accomplish later today. Whatever that intention is, it is for you. And then we like to dedicate our practice to someone or something like a pet or a friend or whatever it is, whoever and whatever it is that you'd like to dedicate your practice to. And when you come back to that dedication throughout your practice, it brings you some joy. Nice full breath in, big open mouth exhale. And then go ahead and inhale those fingertips, those hands together up toward the sky, crossing all the fingers, turning the palms up, exhaling, lowering those hands down, pushing the palms forward as you exhale. We're connecting to breath here, remember that. Inhale, pushing the palms forward. On the exhale, lowering down. Exhale, lowering, lowering, lowering. When your breath ends, that's when you start to bring those palms back up again. And one more time, exhale, lowering down. And then we're going to inhale, pushing those hands up. And then lowering the hands right onto the front of the knees. So we're going to find that nice, comfortable yoga seat. Crown of the head's reaching up, shoulders are stacked over the hips, spine's aligned, finding comfort in the seat. Tension has a way of sneaking back in, so you have to take a breath break every once in a while. Take a nice full breath in. Big exhale out. Imagine that tension escaping from the seat and you're able to get a little bit more comfortable in your yoga seat, which is so important. So we're going to start out by warming up the cervical spine. So finding that yoga seat and just gently turn your head to the right and pause. And then center, pause, and to your left and pause. And just do that a few times. Just gently warming up the cervical spine. Nice and slow. You don't really ever want to rush in any kind of yoga, especially when you're warming up the cervical spine. Nice and gentle. And then gazing forward. We're going to continue warming up the cervical spine. This time we're going to lower the right ear toward the right shoulder, just very gently. And remember, we're guiding, we're never forcing. We're never trying to see how far can I go. We're really guiding. Because what's happening here is as we're lowering the right ear to the right shoulder, we're stretching the left side of the neck. So you want to pay attention to the left side here too. Making sure you're seated nice and aligned. So the spine is aligned with the cervical spine. And you're guiding that right ear toward the right shoulder. If you like, you don't have to do this, but you can if you want. This makes it a little bit more intense. You can bring your right hand up and over to the left temple and just gently guide the right ear a little bit closer to your shoulder. And you don't have to do this. Like I said, I don't always go a little bit more intense. I just listen to my body. My body's basically telling me, okay, you know what, today you're warmed up nice. You can, go a little bit deeper. So I really pay attention to what my body's telling me to do. And And then you can lower your right hand back onto the knee. We slowly are going to roll the chin toward the chest. And then on the inhale, we slowly roll the head back, very slow, maybe until you're gazing right over your head. Don't go back further than that. We're still warming up here. Exhale, slowly lower chin toward the chest. We're still maintaining that yoga seat, and then gazing forward. So now let's lower that left ear now toward the left shoulder. So we're lowering that left ear. We're not bringing the shoulder up. We're guiding the left ear toward the left shoulder. We're stretching the right side of the neck. So you want to notice that stretch. Connecting to breath here too. So we take a breath in. And on the exhale is when you just kind of gently guide the ear toward the shoulder, listening to your body. Any strain, something doesn't feel right, you can certainly come out of the pose. You have to listen to your body. If you want, you can bring that right hand up and over, the left hand up and over to the right side of the temple and just gently guide that left ear a little bit closer. Again, it's up to you how you're feeling today. And lowering that left hand onto the left knee. Gonna exhale, rolling your chin towards your chest, nice and slow. And then inhale, rolling back. And then gazing forward. Nice. So now we're gonna bring our arms to a T again, turning the palms up, inhaling those hands up. Let's realign the spine nicely. Exhale, lowering down, fingertips toward the earth. And one more time, we're gonna inhale those hands up. And this time, we're gonna take a twist to the right. So your hips are forward, we're twisting with the upper body. The right hand comes behind the back, left hand comes on the outside of that right knee. You can have the palm just kind of tapping onto that right knee, or you can turn your hand around so the back of the hand is on that right knee, and that engages the arm a little deeper. It's really up to you. And remember, we're guiding, we're never forcing. So we're connecting to breath here as well. We inhale, lengthening the spine. On the exhale is when the body softens. When the body softens, that's when we're able to come into that twist a little deeper. So breathing in and exhaling, twisting to the right with the upper body. So the hips are forward and the upper body's twisting to the right. Continuing with that. Breath sequence here, inhaling and exhaling to twist. And one more time. And exhaling. And then we slowly come out of a twist because the spine's in a lot of different positions, so you don't want to come out fast. Nice and slow, back to center, realigning the spine. Arms coming to the T, palms up, inhaling. And now we twist to the opposite side. So that left hand comes behind the back, right hand's on the outside of that left knee, either the palm touching the knee, or you can turn the hand around so the back of the hand's on that left knee. And that helps to keep the arm a little bit more engaged when you bring that hand back. So it's really up to how your wrist feels today. We're keeping that back hand, that left hand nice and close to the spine. It's on the earth, the palm is on the earth, but you want to keep it close to the spine because you want to stay nice and aligned. So inhale, lengthening the spine, and then exhale, we release the breath and twist. Twisting to the left, hips are forward. We're twisting with that upper body. And remember, listening to your body. As always, we're guiding, we're not forcing. Inhale again, and exhale. And slowly coming back to center. Beautiful. Let's bring those arms to a T. Inhale, bring those arms up. And exhaling for a moment, we're gonna come into side stretches now. So here is where sometimes I use my blocks, not always, but I like to have them handy. So if you have a pillow or a rolled up blanket, if you don't have blocks, or maybe a thick hard-covered book, you can just have them handy. See how you're feeling. I'm sitting on this pillow and I'm going to remove it now. So I'm going to feel a little bit closer to the earth. I stretched, I feel a little bit more open. My hips are nice and open here too. Another thing, very important, when we're warming up, we do spend a lot of time on the mat warming up, and now we're moving into stretches. So we're kind of moving beyond the warm up now. Your legs, you're seated. If you're seated like this, go ahead at any point and stretch those legs out, flex the feet, move the ankles, and know that you can sit in any seated pose that's good for you. You don't have to sit with your legs crossed. You know, sometimes I'm feeling it. If I'm feeling it in a knee, I'll just soften one knee, or I use blocks. I use my blocks to hold my knees up. It's really, just listen to your body. So if you need to stretch those legs out at any point, please do, and know that you can reverse whatever foot's in front, bringing the left foot in front or the right foot in front. So listening to your body. So that being said, you have your blocks or your books or your pillows nearby. Let's go ahead and bring those arms to a T again, okay? Palms up, just again realigning that spine. Tap the back of the hands this time too. Nice tap. Now we're going to exhale, lowering the fingertips toward the earth. We're going to start out by walking the right hand down about 6 inches, grounding that palm in the earth nice and steady. So you have a nice anchor there. That right arm right now is engaged. We're going to lift that left arm up. Left fingertips starting out, reaching up. Remember, we're going to be stretching now the whole left side of the body all the way down to the seat. If you have any discomfort in the shoulders, there's lots of modifications in yoga. You can actually bring that elbow up, and that will give you a nice stretch, especially on that upper side of the left rib cage. Get a nice stretch there. Otherwise, you can bring that left hand now up and over to the right. We inhale. When we're inhaling, we bring in that energy and we start to reach. I'm listening to my body now. Everything feels really good. The stretch feels good. On the exhale, you release the breath. You can just release the breath, or if you want, you can fold, maybe come down to a forearm. Or if you have a block handy, you can put your forearm on the block and then inhale. If you feel that left side's lifting up when you're folding, use your right palm to kind of push your seat down so you stay nice and balanced in the seat. So we're reaching here. Remember, guiding the body. We're not forcing. Breathing, inhaling to stretch and exhaling to fold. Or just soften. You got that elbow up, you're inhaling, you're bringing that left elbow up. Or if you got it parallel, or maybe you've got that left arm down on the left knee. Whatever feels right. And let's go ahead and push that right hand into the earth. Arms coming to a T. And bringing those hands up. Nice alignment, exhale. And now we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So here I've got my block handy. I'm walking the left hand out, grounding that left palm in the earth. We're going to inhale that right hand up, or that right elbow, or you can keep it parallel or down onto the knee. Whatever feels right, okay? So we're going to inhale, bring that right hand over. Here, this pose, I always can feel the difference between my sides. My other side, I can always go down a lot deeper. So I don't push it too much, though I am guiding. So I'm inhaling, I'm stretching the right side all the way down to my seat, all the way from the tips of my fingers down to my seat. Inhale, exhaling to fold. Here, I'm definitely going to use my block. Putting that forearm on a block. Inhaling, exhaling, folding a little bit more. Really noticing the body. I am not forcing. I'm just taking a nice stretch here. Exhale. One more time. One nice stretch. And then slowly start to push that left hand into the earth. Bringing those arms to a T. Realigning the spine nicely. And then slowly lowering the hands onto the knees. So we're going to come into a gentle forward fold before we come into tabletop. So I like to come into a forward fold in an open level class by kind of keeping the spine aligned, not rounding the spine. I also have my blocks available. What I love about the blocks, it helps to bring the earth closer, but you can use these blocks in any way you like. Some days I feel pretty bendy, I don't need the blocks. Sometimes I'll use them flat. You can use them, put them on the side, or even up higher. They're very handy in standing forward folds too. It really helps you to kind of get yourself into a forward fold If you're not used to maybe softening the knees, if you have to soften the knees, bringing the blocks up in this direction helps you to kind of straighten out the legs a little bit. And then eventually you can move the block down one side and then here and then down toward the earth. So it's all about kind of allowing the body to come into the pose fully. That's what we use the blocks and props for. So that being said, let's take our thumbs, keep the blocks handy though, because we are going to come into a forward fold. Take your thumbs and just push them into your hip crease. That's where we're going to be hinging from. We're not going to just round the spine. So let's align our chest up toward the sky, that aligns the spine, and then start to hinge forward. Once you start to round that neck, that's where your forward fold stops for today. If this is as far as you're getting today, that's perfect. Listening to the body is key here. If you're hinging forward and you're feeling you're okay bending here, you can also bring the blocks together and put your forearms on the block. You can put your hands on the earth and reach up. We're just trying to hinge a little bit forward from the hip. We're reaching a little bit forward, just trying to get a little distance from the hip here. Any discomfort in the lower back, you can just walk your hands back toward until that discomfort releases, until that is, kind of leaves the body. One more breath here in this forward fold, and we're slowly going to walk ourselves up to sit. Bringing your hands onto your knees, we're going to move now into tabletop. So if you have a blanket that you can fold, here I have one here. I always put blankets under my knees when I come into tabletop. The skin on the knees are very thin and can be sensitive. Eventually you'll feel it, so I always put a little light blanket under my knees. So let's go ahead and help bring those knees together. Before we come into tabletop, maybe just stretch those legs out, flex the feet, point the toes, whatever helps you to get the blood flowing. Okay, so now we're going to do some cat and cows to warm up the rest of the spine. So we've got ourselves still in a tabletop to start out, and if you want, you can leave that rolled up blanket underneath your feet to give you a little bit of support, or you can move that away, whatever you're feeling you need. Just again, having everything nearby. So we start out by coming into cow. So we inhale, we're curling the toes. And then exhale, we're softening the spine. We soften, we round the spine, chin to chest, tops of the feet on the earth. Inhale, abdomen comes down. We're gazing up toward the sky, toes are curled. Exhale, releasing, rounding, tops of the feet on the earth, chin to chest. And let's do about 3 more cat and cows. So do it at your own pace. Inhaling, we gaze up, we rise up, abdomen toward the earth, toes are curled. Exhale, we release, coming into cat, chin to chest, rounding the spine. And again, inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. And take one more. Take your time too. Curling those toes, gazing up, and exhaling, rounding the spine, chin to chest, and then coming back into your tabletop and moving the hips again from side to side, just to get a little bit of movement. If you want, you can send the hips to the right and the shoulders to the left. Hips to the left, shoulders to the right. Get some warming up again of the rest of the spine. And then coming to stillness. Okay. Moving the hips from side to side, now getting some movement in the hips. Moving the left to the left, and then to the right. And taking some half circles. Moving the seat down toward your heels. You don't have to go down that far. and then coming back into your tabletop. Let's go ahead and lower our seat toward our heels, coming into child's pose. You can leave that towel there if you have a towel, and you're just trying to get your seat nice and close to your heels. So you've got your hands out in front of you. So child's pose is a relaxing pose. However, in every yoga pose, every part of the body has an action. Even if it's a relaxing action, that's what that body part's supposed to be doing. So in this relaxing yoga pose, we're lowering our seat toward our heels. The arms are out in front of us. Maybe the crown of the head comes to the earth. My arms are fully engaged. I'm pushing the front of the mat forward so that it's helping me get my seat closer toward my heels. And then we're slowly going to come right back up into tabletop, moving those knees together. And let's go ahead and move the hips from side to side again. And we're preparing to come into our first downward dog of the practice. We won't be doing a lot of downward dogs, and we won't be spending a lot of time in downward dog. We're just going to move into downward dog to get us to a nice stand. So finding your tabletop, curling the toes under. If you have any discomfort in your wrists or in tabletop, you can come to a stand. Just come up to stand. You can find your way. We're going to move into Warrior 2 with the right foot forward as we come out of our downward dog. So curl the toes, send the hips up, trying to get those heels down toward the earth, softening one knee and softening the other. And then coming to stillness, you've got your ears between your biceps, gazing between your knees and your thighs. You don't want to be looking down at the mat. And one more breath. Let's come to stillness here. We're going to send that right foot up, nice and high. And we're bringing the right foot through, however that right foot can come through. If you're walking it, if you're bringing it forward in one movement. And before you rise up, make sure you have your feet in Warrior 2. Make sure your foundation is set. Also, if you have any props on the mat, you always want to clear the mat when you're doing standing poses. I like to keep everything at a distance. Now, my feet, my right foot's forward. It's intersecting the left foot, which is what I want. My right knee's over my right ankle. And I'm going to slowly rise into Warrior 2. Noticing the right knee is over the right ankle. If your right knee goes past the right ankle, that could mean that your feet are too close together. So when that happens, you just kind of send that right foot a little bit forward. So right now I've got my right knee over my right ankle. That back leg is fully engaged, bringing my arms to a T. Fingertips reaching in opposite directions. Really reaching. That helps to keep the arms fully engaged. I'm looking over my right fingertips. I kind of have my shoulder blades coming together a little bit behind me, which is keeping me nice and aligned. Right knee's over the right ankle. From Warrior 2 here, we're going to come into Peaceful Warrior. So our legs stay in Warrior 2 in Peaceful Warrior. Turning that right palm up, bringing that right hand up nice and high. Keeping your eye on the right palm. Left hand's on that left leg, gently touching the left leg. We're inhaling, nice stretch on the right side of the body. Inhale, exhale, just release the breath. Gentle exhale, gentle inhale. Nice. One more breath in. Noticing that right knee stays over the right ankle. It likes to creep up in Peaceful Warrior, so you just have to kind of scan the body. And then coming back into your Warrior 2. Reaching those fingertips in opposite directions. Nice opening up of the chest. Breathing through it. Warrior 2 has a lot of instructions. So does Warrior 1. So we're going to move into Warrior 1 after we do our Warrior 2 on the other side. And one more time, we're coming back into Peaceful Warrior. Turn that right palm up. Right palm comes up. You're gazing at the right palm. You don't want to fold so much that you can't see the palm of your hand. That's not what this pose is about. We're stretching that right side. You're gazing at that right palm. If the neck feels right, inhale, exhale, release, and then on back into warrior two. Nice. Let's inhale those palms up. Bring the hands together and lower to heart center. Heart center is, the reason we bring our hands together for heart center, it's for balance. So we've got those hands together, right center at our heart. That right knee is still over the right ankle. And then we're going to bring the left foot to meet the right foot at the front of the mat. So you can kind of step that left foot, or if you want, you've got nice balance today, you can bring the left foot to meet you at the front of your mat. And then we're going to inhale our hands up. You stay at the front of the mat and exhale, softening the knees. We're coming into a forward fold. And then a half lift. Bringing those hands to your shins. Exhaling into that forward fold. And slowly coming up. Bringing those hands up. Hands together. And lowering to heart center. Beautiful. So you're still at the front of your mat now. We're coming into warrior two on the opposite side. So with your hands at heart center for nice balance, you're going to send the right foot back. So I'm going to come on the opposite side. You just stay where you are. So we're sending the right foot back. Right foot's parallel with the wall behind you. Left foot now is facing forward. Left heel intersects that right foot. I think I should have put my hair up for this class. So fingertips reaching in opposite directions, coming into warrior two, left knee over that left ankle. Good. Like usually I start out and my feet are closer together, so I have to send it out. Right now I'm good. My left knee is not passing. My back leg, that right leg is nice and engaged. The right foot is grounded in the earth. Arms are at a T. Gazing over those left fingertips now. Reaching, 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 turning that left palm up and coming into peaceful warrior. So the right hand now is on that right leg, left fingertips reaching. We're stretching the left side of the body here. Gazing at the palm. You don't have to stay gazing at the palm. You just want to be able to gaze at the palm. So you're not reaching so far that if you wanted to look at your hand, you couldn't see it. You want to be able to comfortably see the palm on the left hand as you're in your warrior two. And come on back into warrior two. That was peaceful warrior, back into warrior two. Fingertips are reaching in opposite directions. That back hand is the same height as the left hand in warrior two. Shoulders are up. One more time, peaceful warrior. Breathing, breathing. Right hand on that right leg. And stretching that left side. Nice, nice stretch. And then coming back into your warrior two. So you should still be with that left foot, should be reaching toward the front of your mat. Left foot's toward the front of your mat, palms are coming up. Lowering your hands to heart center for that balance. Nice balance here. So you've got that back foot is parallel with the mat behind you, and you're still grounding down on that back leg. Left knee is still over that left ankle. Hands are at heart center. We're going to bring the right foot now to the front of the mat. However that right foot can get there. If you step it or hop it, or if you want, you can just do one big step to the front of the mat. So you all should be in the front of the mat now. We're going to, again, inhale those hands up and take a nice dive into a forward fold. You can soften the knees. You can also come down. This is what I was talking about before. Coming down, coming into a forward fold using your blocks. So if you want, you certainly can bring those hands to the earth, or you can start nice and high. You can bring your hands onto the block, or maybe you've got it on one side or on the flat side. Whatever feels right. And then we're going to go ahead and come into that half lift and slowly come into a forward fold. Blocks, earth, wherever it feels right. And slowly rise up, one vertebra at a time, bringing those hands up, palms together, and lowering to heart center. So you should be at the front of your mat. Again, wherever the front of your mat is, we're going to come into warrior one now. So coming into, as you should be standing in the front of your mat, I'm just moving around so you could see how I'm coming into these poses as I move everything out of the way. So go ahead and find that heart center. Shoulders are stacked over the hips. Hips are stacked over the ankles. You're in a nice yoga stand. So we're going to start by sending that right foot back. So the right foot comes back to a 45-degree angle. Left foot, left knee is over that left ankle. What's different about warrior one and warrior two with the feet is the feet are not intersecting. So you have a little space here. So we've got the left knee over the left ankle, the back foot's at a 45-degree, hips should be forward. So if you're finding you're in a little bit of an angle with the hips, take your hands and place your hands on your hips and just guide the hips forward. So now we're all facing forward, bringing those hands up into a warrior one, breathing in and breathing out, nice full breath in, and exhale. You can open up the arms a little bit here if you want to do that. So we're engaging that core, hips are forward, left knees over the left ankle, right foot's at a 45-degree angle. We're going to take a twist now, twisting to the right. So the right hand comes back, palms are facing the wall behind you. Nice breath here. And slowly come back to your warrior one. We're going to twist now in the other direction. So with this twist, if you need to pivot that right foot forward, that will help come into the twist to the left now with palms facing forward. Left knee still over the left ankle. My right foot is coming forward. And then right back to center. Nice. We're going to take a very gentle back bend here. Very gentle. I don't even like to call it a back bend. You're just kind of bringing the hands back a little bit. And then slowly bring the hands together, lower to heart center. And with that foot behind you, that right foot, bringing that right foot to meet the left at the front of the mat. You can do one step or just slowly bring it up there. Go ahead and inhale those hands up. Exhale into your forward fold if you have your block. You can do your forward fold onto the block. Maybe soften the knees. Bring both hands onto a block. And then start to straighten the legs out. Inhale to that half lift. We're hinging from the hips. Exhale into the forward fold. And slowly come on up. Once the crown of the head's up, that's when you're going to bring those hands up for a nice full body standing stretch. My favorite. Nice. Slowly lowering the hands to heart center. So you, again, should be at the front of your mat as we come into warrior one now on the opposite side. So your hands are at heart center for balance. We're going to send the left foot back now. And the right knee is over that right ankle. And the left foot is coming in back at a 45-degree angle as we come into warrior one. So the left foot is at a 45-degree angle. Right foot is over the right ankle. Now I can see it might be maybe a little too far apart. So I just brought that right foot back a little bit. I really pay attention to placement of my legs in all standing poses. So my right knee is now comfortably over my right ankle. Hips are forward. Bringing those hands together for warrior one. Taking a full breath here. Core engaged, hips forward. Back foot's at a 45-degree. Right foot's facing forward. Right knee's over the right ankle. A lot of instructions. We're going to go ahead and take that twist with the palms facing toward that. Left hand's coming back. We're reaching. We're twisting really more with the upper body because your legs are still in warrior one here. Couple of breaths. And then come on back to center. And we're going to come back into our warrior one, and we're preparing to twist in the opposite direction. If you want, you can pivot that left toe forward and then go ahead and take that twist in the opposite direction. Upper body, right knee is over that right ankle. And slowly come back to center. Take that gentle back bend, nice and gentle. Bringing those hands together, lowering the hands to heart center. And we're gonna bring that left foot to meet the right at the front of the mat. You can hop it up there, you can walk it up there, or you can just take one nice big giant step. So now I'm coming to the center. Everybody should still be in the front of their mat as long as you're facing forward. We're gonna inhale our hands up and exhale into a forward fold. Inhale to that half lift. And from here, we're gonna come into a ragdoll forward fold. So we're just gonna grab onto opposite elbows here. And you can soften the knees if you want. You can heel toe the feet a little bit apart and just kind of take some movement. Releasing from the lower back. You wanna kind of let the neck kind of loosen. This is ragdoll. So you want to kind of feel like a rag doll, just releasing, listening to the body. And moving from side to side. And coming still. And lowering the hands to the earth. Coming into a forward fold. We're slowly going to rise up. Nice and slow. Crown of the head's the last to come up. Once the crown's up, that's when we come into that nice full body stretch. Lowering the hands to heart center. And from here, we're going to come into tree pose for balance. So you've got your hands together. The soles of the feet just are nicely connected to your mat. You want to be in a nice standing pose with the shoulders stacked, spines aligned, hips are over the ankles. Breathing well. Take a nice full breath in here and a slow exhale out. Slowly exhaling and releasing. Beautiful. So we're just going to start to move all of our weight onto that right foot and right leg. So the right foot is going to be your foundation for this pose. So you've got all your weight on the right foot. That right leg is your tree trunk. Your hands are at heart center. Once you've got that good balance in that right leg, maybe test it out a little bit, just pivot the left foot toward the left side of the room and ground the left heel against that right leg. You can stay here for tree. Or if you're feeling your balance is on today, you can bring that left foot to the inside of the right knee, of the right leg. You don't want any part of the right foot touching the left foot, touching the right knee. You don't want to accidentally slip and then kind of push that right knee out. So just safely place that left foot either above or below the knee. If you have a half a lotus and you want to give that a shot, you can do that too. One side's very different than the other. I can never do a half a lotus on the other side. Sometimes I could do it here, but I feel my balance off, so I'm just going to go ahead and lower and bring my left foot in below that right knee. Inhale those hands up and open up your branches. Really kind of paying attention to that right foot though. Pay attention to your foundation. Notice how the right foot feels. Maybe you can then go ahead and try to move your arms. Maybe you're a tree and it's a windy day. You're moving your fingers and your wrists. And let's go ahead and inhale those hands together. Lower to heart center. Send that left knee up now. Try not to put that left leg down. Extend that left leg and then lower down. And shake out that right side. Move it around a little bit. Nice. And let's go ahead and try balance on the other side. So let's inhale the hands up, nice full body stretch. Lower to heart center. And start to shift all the weight into that left leg. Notice the balance. I always do that. I always try to really focus on the foot and the connection the foot has to the mat. That left leg's your tree trunk, pivoting the right foot toward the right side, grounding the right heel up against that left leg. And then venturing to see, maybe I'll bring it below the knee or above the knee. And then once you have found your balance for tree, inhale those hands up. And you can gaze at a point in the house that's not moving. We call that the dristi. The dristi is like a focusing point that's not moving. And then slowly open your arms and moving them around again, just like you did on the other side. If you want to really challenge yourself, a little bit of a balance challenge here would be to close your eyes. So if you close your eyes, you may find it a little bit more challenging. I try to do that. It's a lot more challenging, actually. And let's go ahead and bring those hands up. And lower down to heart center. Bring that right knee up nice and high. Extend that right leg out and slowly lower down. Beautiful. Let's inhale those hands up and exhale into a forward fold. So you're in the front of your mat. Exhale into your forward fold. We're going to send those legs back and come into our final downward dog. So you're gazing again between the knees or the thighs, not down at the mat. You're pushing that mat forward. Breathing, trying to get those heels down to the earth. And then we're slowly going to lower the knees down, coming into tabletop. So we're back in tabletop, slowly going to lower the seat to the heels as we find our way back into child's pose. So again, an active pose, though it's restful, trying to still get the seat close to the heels, lowering the upper body toward the earth as much as you can, as much as feels comfortable. And slowly start to walk yourself up, coming to sit onto the heels, and then finding your way onto the mat with your feet in front of you, seated just like this. So you're in the center of your mat. Let's see how much time we have. Not too much time. Okay, we're good. So we can do some good floor stretches before we come into Shavasana. So again, I have some pillows. I'm not really sure what I'm going to need, but I'd like to keep everything nearby. So if I want to use a block, I can. And we're going to slowly lower ourselves down onto the mat. We're going to take 6 breaths to do it. While we're doing it, we're also doing core work. So you've got the feet on the mat, nice and flat on the mat. Or you can bring the toes up, but listen to your body. So as your body shifts down, you may feel that you need to lift the feet up. So just listen to the body. Don't strain anything. And if you want, you can bring your hands behind your hamstrings right here as you lower down. That's an option. Or you can engage the core and do some core work. So let's go ahead. We're just going to take a nice full breath in and an exhale coming back. Now make sure you engage the core. If you don't engage the core, you could kind of injure your lower back unless you have your hands that you're using your hands behind your hamstrings. But if you're going to do core work, you have to use the muscles in your core, in your stomach, your abdomen, your lower abdomen. Second breath in, exhale. I'm really engaging my core here. Again. Again. Gets harder. 2 more. Slow exhale, 1 more. And then roll yourself nice and slowly. And when the shoulders come onto the mat, slowly bring those knees in. Don't rush the knees in. Just bring them in slow and go ahead and find yourself a nice tight hug. Nice tucked hug. Beautiful. And then lowering your hands onto the earth. Just start to move your legs from side to side a little bit here, massaging the lower back. If you're still in that tight hug, you're probably not going to be able to massage the lower back as much because you'll be lifting it up. So if you have your hands by your side, just start to move from side to side. There you go. And then coming to stillness here. We're going to come back into, well, not back into, the last class we did for North Hempstead TV, we did this wind reliever pose, which a couple of people said they really like. So we're going to go ahead and do that again. So with your knees still kind of up, with the knees up like this, we're going to bring both hands and cross both hands and bring your hands over that left shin. And we're going to eventually be sliding that left knee back. For now, just kind of leave the hands on the left shin. Don't push down though. You don't want to, really hyper bend that left knee. So just kind of let the hands rest there without pushing down onto that left shin. We're bringing that right foot up and slowly lowering it down toward the earth. Right foot is flexed. I don't know if you can see my right foot, but it's flexed. Here's also where I like to grab a block or a towel or a blanket. This pose, so if my right leg's going to be extended throughout this pose, I sometimes like to just send a block under that right knee if I feel like it doesn't, it needs a little bit of a break. So listen to your body, grab a pillow, whatever you think you need. So we've got both hands now around that left shin. That right foot is going to stay flexed for this entire pose. That keeps the right leg engaged. And when the right leg is engaged, you're strengthening. Because you'll notice with that right foot flex, your right quad is probably popping out a little bit because that muscle is working. And that's a good thing. So we're just going to start to slide now that left foot back a little bit. That left knee rather. You might want to have the left knee aligned to your armpit. So we take a breath in, and on the exhale, that's when the body softens. That's when maybe you can get that left knee behind you a little bit more. Inhale, pushing the right foot forward, keeping that right foot flexed, toes are up toward the sky. And on that exhale, sending that left knee behind you. And one more time. That exhale, it's so amazing. If you really connect to that breath, on that exhale, when you release the breath and the body softens, it really lets you get deeper into the work that you're doing in your poses. And slowly bring that right knee in to meet the left. And let's just move from side to side here. Massaging that lower back and the whole back too, not just the lower back. And let's come back to center. Crossing all the hands now, bringing both hands down around that right shin. Again, remembering not pushing down. You don't want to push down because you don't want to really, bend that right knee too much. Let's send that left leg up and slowly lowering that left foot down. Left foot's flexed. Again, now I've got this, move the block over this way. I don't know if I'll need it, but if I do, I'm going to slide it under my left knee just to give a little bit of support. Or you can even use a rolled up blanket if you just want a little bit of height. So I always, again, keep a lot of props nearby because I never know what I'm going to want to use. Okay, so now the left foot's nice and flexed, that left leg fully engaged. You've got both hands around that right shin now. So take a nice full breath in. And on that exhale, you're sliding that right knee behind you. Left foot still flexed, and that right knee is coming behind you. And you're listening to the body. So maybe if it's uncomfortable, you can also bring both hands behind that hamstring and slide that right knee back a little bit. Listen to the body. Every pose has a lot of different modifications or options so that you could come into the pose as fully as your body can come into it during this particular yoga class. Every class is very different for everybody. Breathing in one more time. Let's take one more nice full breath in. And exhale, really sliding that right knee back. Nice hip opening. And then bring that left knee in to meet the right. Move the hips from side to side. And then coming to stillness, we're going to slowly lower the feet down toward the earth and heel toe the feet to the edges of the mat. So one of the problems I have with all my props is sometimes they do get in the way, so I just kind of move them out of the way. So we're just going to windshield wiper the legs out now because we've done a lot of work on the hips in the beginning of class and also now toward the end of class. So just kind of start to move the legs from side to side. Just getting some movement in the hips, rotating the hips, getting some muscle movement and blood flowing, and coming to stillness. And let's move those knees in and out, and in and out. And then heel toe those feet together, bringing those knees in. And we're gonna come right into an inversion now, sending those feet up. This is another pose where you might like to put a pillow or a block under your sacrum to bring those hips up, to allow yourself to come fully into the inversion. So you see how my feet are flexed, my legs are straight. I've got a lot, my lower back and most of my mid back is up off the earth because I've got most of my weight is on my upper back and shoulders because the hips, the block's bringing my hips up so high. Let's just go ahead and point and flex the feet, point and flex. And then rotating the ankles a little bit. You can soften the knees and just kind of guide them in toward the shoulders and then back up. Any kind of movement, as long as the feet are up above the heart, they're getting a nice break here. They might even start to feel a little bit lighter. And open and close, point and flex. And then just coming back to stillness in your inversion. Let's stay in this inversion for about 5 more breaths. That's in and out. Making sure whatever you have under your hips, you don't have to have anything under your hips, your sacrum rather, is comfortable. It shouldn't hurt. It should feel comfortable. It should feel like it's helping you get those feet up. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. That's really up to you. 2 more breaths. And then right from our inversion, we're going to come into our happy baby. So bring those knees in. You're going to slide that block out from underneath you. I'm going to turn this way just so I can kind of demonstrate happy baby a little bit with more clarity here. So you're bringing your hands on the inside of the knee. So you've got your arms on the inside of your legs. You grab the outside of the feet. You've got your heel aligned over the knee. And then you're just kind of gently guiding those knees down toward the earth by just kind of pulling down on the tops of the feet. This is happy baby. There's a lot of variations of happy baby. Whatever you feel comfortable in, you can move from side to side. You can stretch one leg out or both legs out. You can come into a yogi toe lock. Whatever you feel your body needs at the moment. So happy baby is just kind of gets your heart rate down, if your heart rate went up at all. It just kind of gets you to move from side to side, massaging the whole back and the hips here. Nice. And then come back into your full happy baby, how we started out. Slowly guide the feet together. And you can now start to lower your feet together onto the mat, moving yourself into Supta Baddha Konasana, which is reclining butterfly pose. So you've got the soles of the feet together. If you have discomfort in this pose, you can send your feet to the front of the mat. You can also, of course, grab a prop if you need to. You could always put a block under a knee, under a hip, whatever you feel you need. So we're only going to be here for a few breaths. 2 more breaths here in this reclining butterfly pose. Really nice hip opener. 1 more nice full breath in and slow exhale. And from here, if you're in the butterfly pose, start to push your feet a little together with a little bit more force. As you're doing that, bring the knees together and then send the feet out to the front of the mat. Coming into your final resting pose, your Shavasana. If you want, you can grab a blanket and put a blanket over you or put a rolled up blanket under your knee. Whatever makes you comfortable in your final rest. Shavasana is still a pose. It's the action is rest. The action is releasing, continuing to soften and release. Gently closing your eyes. Very much like we practice our breathing. Breathing in, we burn in the energy. Exhaling, we release to let go. Kind of do that also in your thoughts right now. So if you're thinking of everything you have to do after class, for now, these last few moments, just on the exhale, let those thoughts go. Just let it go. If you're able to do that, you may find that it helps you too at night for sleep. If thoughts are keeping you up, everything you have to do, take a full breath in. And then exhale to let go. Let go of all the thoughts at night that keep you up. And let's just take 2 or 3 very restful breaths here, letting the feet open up. Maybe your palms are facing up toward the sky. Breathing in and exhaling to release. One more breath. Very nice. And then just slowly start to move your head from side to side, just like we did in the beginning of class when we were warming up the cervical spine. Take a pause in each direction. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Send those hands up over your head for a nice full body stretch. Bring those knees in. Find yourself rolling into Garbhasana on your right side, which is Fetal Pose. Using your right arm as a pillow, bringing those knees nice and close into your chest. Left hand comes to the earth in front of your heart. Fetal Pose, Garbhasana is Fetal Pose, and in yoga it represents a fresh start and a new beginning. I always love how we end a yoga class with the notion that we have a fresh start, a new beginning. And slowly start to push yourself up to a comfortable seat on your mat. Maybe bringing your hands to heart center for balance at the end of your practice. And at the end of the practice, yoga teachers like to show gratitude. Gratitude to everybody who practiced in their class today. It is an honor to guide you through this class. I hope that everybody enjoyed it. And if you have any further questions about any of North Hempstead's fitness classes, you can always call 311. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. Namaste.